My father had oil investments over there, and my mother was a consultant. After she passed away, I moved around a lot.
I assume you know what your name means in Arabic.
Do tell me, you smart man.
Rana is a beautiful and eye-catching woman. Or simply to gaze upon.
Does my name suit me?
Are those for me?
Yes.
They didn't tell me it was like this. Not to be crude, but there are more efficient ways of killing someone.
This is everything we have so far.
If this is making you...
No, it's, I'm just a bit raw still. We weren't exactly on the best terms when it happened.
Miss Burkhalter?
Yes?
Your guest has arrived?
We'll be right there. There's someone you need to meet.
Did they mention anything about the paper he's holding?
No, nothing.
If he was holding it when he died, he would have at least dropped it or clenched his fist. There are no wrinkles on this paper. It's in perfect condition.
Why would the police withhold evidence from me?
Typical.
You don't like cops? I would have thought with your particular skill set, it would have been right up your alley.
What's there to like? They're a bunch of incompetent, badge-heavy, gun-toting imbeciles with tiny schmeckles.
Detective Tiny Schmeckel at your service.
Cyrus Rothwell, freelance writer and career asshole. Nice.
Detective Weed here is heading up the investigation into my father's murder. I brought Cyrus on board to do some additional research as he's an internationally acclaimed investigative journalist.
Freelance writer.
I expect that won't be a problem.
No, not at all. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you out.
Actually, you can start by answering some of his questions.
We didn't want to alarm you. It says, Hiram's blood will spill again if he doesn't reveal the secrets of the stone to the apprentice.
May I? It's written on the letterhead of the Grand Masonic Lodge. And here at the bottom it reads, Liberté, Égalité et Fraternité.
He speaks French.
And Arabic.
Impressive. Well, we read it as a death threat.
So my life's in danger and you thought it best not to tell me.
The target of the threat was specific, and while we're very concerned about you, your name isn't Hiram.
Neither was my father's, detective.
Ma'am, it's time for the meeting.
I'm taking my own car. Cyrus, ride with him.
A meeting? Have to deal with lawyers again?
Worse than tiny schmeckled cops.
That's like asking if I'd rather get shot or stabbed.
Shot. Always go with shot. Read that article you wrote. I like how you handled the senator. Took balls.
Thanks.
Now you're here in my town, looking into a case.
Maybe I'll let you tag along.
You ready for the breakdown?
Mm-hmm.
See Mr. Slick over there in the three-piece suit spitting into his phone? That's Tobias Sheffield.
Yeah, he works at Burkhalter.
He was his second in command for over 20 years. When Burkhalter died, he automatically became the acting president of the company. Now, those two cats are with the Freemasons. The younger, angry-looking one is Jericho Beck. Something of a prodigy, actually. He became a Mason on his 18th birthday, and in less than 3 years, they raised him to a 32nd degree.
You said angry?
Well, it's no secret that he has a bit of a violent streak. He was charged last year with assault when someone called one of his Mason brothers an apron-wearing faggot.
What about Xavier over there?
That is none other than Grand Master Sheldon Lombard. He's the head of the order in this state for the last 15 years and active in the order for over 40 years. He's got members of the Masonic Lodge in every area of civil service. Doctors, lawyers, judges, cops.
Cops?
Not all cops.
So besides Tobias Sheffield, everyone here's in the will.
Every single one of them, including your boss.
Please be seated, everyone. I'm Gladys O'Malley. We're joined today by Detective Leon Weed and Mr. Cyrus Rothwell, who is helping the police investigate the murder. Now, I've been assigned to execute the last will and testament of the late Einar Burkhalter. However, until the case has been resolved, all of Mr. Burkhalter's assets are frozen.
Are you suggesting that we're suspects?
Everyone's a suspect.
My mistake.
Mr. Sheffield, you have been acting as president of the bank since the death of Mr. Burkhalter. But until we can clear you of any involvement related to his passing, the Board of Trustees will assume control until you can return. Mr. Lombard and Mr. Beck, representing the Masonic Temple. The late Mr. Burkhalter left a percentage, I'm sure you are aware, equates to, let's just say it's quite a sum. The sum will be withheld from the lodge until all members of the Freemasons can be cleared of any involvement in the death of Mr. Burkhalter with motive to expedite funds. Miss Burkhalter, all of your father's accounts, including your joint and any earnings made on his investments, will be held until you can be cleared of any involvement.
I'm sorry. What is she supposed to live off of?
She could get a job.
Sympathetic as I am, the law is quite clear.
I'm more than capable of managing.
Yeah, everyone, please don't leave the state without notifying my office first.
We're done here. Thank you.
Mrs. O'Malley? Now, what happens if the case is never resolved?
If the case is considered cold and closed after a period of 12 months, all of Mr. Burkhalter's assets will belong to the state.
That's awfully convenient for two loyal representatives of the state to drag their feet in this investigation.
Mr. Sheffield, I'm a third party. Good Detective Weed here represents the state. Good day.
I'm not a foot dragger. Am I a foot dragger? No. Don't answer that.
What's this?
Your clothes.
These are not my clothes.
Perhaps they should be.
And what is this?
It's a digital voice recorder. I thought you could use that rather than writing that little coloring book of yours.
And what is this?
Those are the keys to my car, so you can get to work.
Miss Burkhalter,
Call me Rana.
Rana.
Good night, Cyrus.
Come on. I'm gonna need you to use your imagination. We are in the heart of the Master Mason's Lodge. We are standing in the center of King Solomon's Temple. There are 4 stations: north, south, east, and west. And of course, the Wedyat, the all-seeing eye.
I got it. And the altar's over there.
No. The altar is right here. Right there. I'm gonna need you to lay down right here,
Excuse me?
Please, you'll be the body, if you don't mind. Oh, that my tongue might be torn from its roots, my heart plucked from its chest, my body cut in two with my entrails burned to ashes, should I ever break my Masonic oath. It's quite simple, really. 3 grisly punishments for breaking the code.
All right, so I punished him 3 times in a grisly...
Do you know anything about Freemasonry? Anything?
Watch it.
Freemasonry predates the 10th century. 3 men, Jubilee, and Jubilo, were stonemasons. They worked for Hiram Abiff. He was the chief architect during the time of Solomon. Have you ever built anything out of stone? Look, it isn't easy, let alone erecting the most intricate and holy structure in history. Building a wall that wouldn't crumble under pressure made you a god. The secret is knowing how to do it.
So we're looking for somebody who knows the secret of how to build a city.
No, not just a city, a fortress. He who builds the wall protects the gold. I'll tell you this much. Whoever murdered that man cannot keep a secret.
Mr. Rothwell,
Yes, Mr. Beck.
what can I help you with?
I was hoping to discuss the case and examine the building for any latent evidence.